Morning. Hey, you know the thing about feet and ankles? if the feet ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. If the lower leg isn't happy, no one's happy. Everything that happens below the knee, oh, so important, and it just is the most vulnerable tissue. It's the most interesting concept to think of Achilles injuries derailing somebody's life or performance or opportunity to get out in nature and run. So I want to keep focusing on little things along the way. So Monday mobility today, we're definitely going to get the whole body done, but we're going to focus a little bit more on the foot and ankle. If you don't have a mobile board is a great tool for learning how to stand. It's a balance board that focuses on applying more force through your big toe and dissipating force, landings specifically into the ball joint of the big toe. It's really not the toe itself, but we should be in contact with the ground. It's the ball joint behind the big toe. When you load your foot correctly, your ankle moves in response to that, your tibia moves in response to that, your hips move, and your thoracic spine moves, and we all move together. But if you're not loading into your big toe, then you've got a little bit of an issue right from the ground up. So a mobile board is a really good idea. You can do a little homework on it. If you're part of my world on a regular basis, you probably already have one. But it's a really, really great tool to learn how to stand loading into the ball joint of your big toe. It also can be used as a balance board. So the first thing we're going to do is, if you don't have a mobile board, get a towel. Hang on, let me get one. Anything that will elevate your toes, okay? So we can just roll up a towel, and you can use a towel to elevate your foot. And all we're going to do is work through some gentle knee drives. If you don't even have a towel, just do the knee drives off the ground, and then later in the day, go ahead and do this. So as you do this knee drive, once you get your foot going, you don't need your head to be looking down, so keep the stack, and you're just driving knee over toe and pushing, I don't want to say activate, you're pushing into your ball joint of your big toe at the same time as you're rhythmically knee driving. So let's get the other side done as well. So we've got a split stance, stack the body, stack the head, and then knee drive. And it does matter, the head position of the head. We don't want to be looking down. Knee drive, push into that big toe. Good. All right, let's go one more time each side. We'll dial in a couple of details. So I'm going to elevate using a balance board. You're going to elevate using a towel. If you don't have anything to elevate, just do this on the ground. First position is always to stand tall. Get a good head position, ears over shoulders. Knee drive 15 times. 3, 4, pushing into that big toe. 7, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I went for 20. Good. 20 is our number. In other words, we want lots of reps. Split stance, stack the body, press into the ball joint of the big toe. 20 reps. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good. Get your tennis ball. Jackson screwed the other one up. He chewed on it. We want something lighter or easier than a lacrosse ball. But if you have a lacrosse ball, just mitigate how much force is going into it. And you want to just lightly work through the bottom of your foot. Tennis ball is nice because it's just soft. And just work through the bottom of the foot. And just getting gentle pressure into the plantar fascia, into the tissue on the bottom of the foot. Let's go back to the right foot. All these little tools should be around when we do Mobility Monday. You always want to have your stick. You want to have your gua sha tool. These little tools that we can use to help move better. All right, left foot. Just working through the bottom of the foot, focusing on the stack, making sure you're standing well. Good. All right, let's get rid of this mobile board. The reason I like the mobile board too, you can use this little piece as a gua sha if you need to. Okay, we're gonna work the lower leg into internal rotation, so towards the middle of the body. We're down on one knee, grab your calf, and you're gonna pull it to the middle as you drive the knee. So your thumbs are kind of working through tissue, and we're working from the top. 3, 4, 5. We'll go one more time. Knee drive, pull the tissue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For me, the closer I get to my ankles, the better it feels, just dragging that skin. Let's go the other side. Knee drive. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Up at the top, work our way down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, good. Let's grab the foam roller. Foam roller going right on the calves. So right on the calf muscles, right in the belly of the muscle. And we're just going to drag the skin around on the calves. Just kind of move it. You can actually physically create friction, heat in the skin. Move around, up and down, everything. Just move around the lower leg. Okay, from right there, we're going to go right to the bottom of the calf muscle. Work the toes into extension, and then flex the ankles out. So plantar flexion, dorsiflexion. Plantar, dorsi. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're just going to do 10, 8, 9, 10. Now we're going to do one and then the other. Right, left. 2, 3, 4. Really point and flex. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then let's go right back to creating heat in the lower leg. Right down by the ankles. And good. All right, let's work through the toes. So now not working through the ankles. We're just going to take the toes, curl them down, and then extend them up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The next one I'm horrible at, but see if you can spread your toes apart. 1, spread them apart. 2, I don't know why I'm so bad at this. 3, but it's something I work on. 4, when I was rehabbing broken ankles, it was a big part of that rehab. You want your toes to have lots of life and connection. All right, let's take the foam roller up to the hips. Just put a little bit of pressure on those sits bones. Sits bones are where the hamstrings attach. So just get onto those sits bones, kind of low onto the pelvis. Get onto one side, get into that lateral hip. Other side, get into that lateral hip. And good. Whew. slowly increasing my run volume, and it's good because you start to recognize the tightness that comes from running. So my level of understanding always accelerates when I start running more. Okay, through your upper back, nice big extension. And tightness isn't a bad thing. If you're not trying, you're just getting smaller. If you're trying, you want your heart and lungs to expand, you want your nervous system to expand, you want your musculature to expand, but it's not a straight line, right? You've got to keep moving within that, what I describe as the movement bubble. You want a very large movement bubble. You want to be able to function in a beautiful, large movement bubble. Onto your back. Yesterday I was watching one of the WNBA games, and one of the girls went down and very awkwardly, and I was convinced, just based on the amount of injuries that I've seen this season, I was convinced she was going to she had torn her ACL. And she just went down really awkwardly, and I'm like, oh, there's another ACL for that team. We're into a figure four, so left ankle, and we're gonna toggle that all the way to the right, and then all the way to the left. Anyway, she went off the floor, and they just evaluated her, and she took a couple sips of water, and next thing I knew, she was back out on the floor. And I was like, that young lady, first of all, it always starts with good genetics, but somewhere along the line, because some people just get lucky with really good tissue, and some people don't. So the truth is, she came back out and played. There was no torn ACL. She was able to get into a crumpled mess on the floor. It was a non-contact situation, which is very typical for an ACL. And ACL, anterior cruciate ligament, it's your knees. It's something we really focus on in strength and conditioning with young athletes. It keeps the femur from going over the tibia. So anywho, it was just an indication that in the right environment, with the right athlete and the right nervous system and the right tissue care, you can fall very awkwardly. Good, let's go feet way out to the side and drop the knees to one side and then the other. And one of my proudest moments as a strength coach is when my athletes come in, and unfortunately, it goes with the territory. They're like, I crashed on my bike. I went head over tea kettle on my bike. And I'm like, and they're at the training session, so I know they're okay. But the biggest thing is, we have to ask ourselves, like, am I prepared? Am I physically prepared to crash? And that's one of those questions we have to ask ourselves, and why we're so committed. Like, y'all are here, so you are. And I'm going to say, you need to stay committed to having a big movement bubble. Your ability to contort into all different positions and then strengthen and stabilize, that's performance. Okay, we're going to take the bottom leg. We're going to go 5 times to the midline, and then we're going to go 5 times outside, making sure there's freedom in the lower leg. So knee over toe, we've already been here once. 2, we're moving the skin to the midline. 3, 4, and 5. Now we're starting at the top. Drive, 2, and you can see how my thoracic spine is also moving here. And 5, that's not lost on me. Okay, other side. Moving the skin, using the body. First one's going to be to the midline. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now the next one is going to go outside. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, good. Let's get it up into a standing position. And all we're going to do is stand on one foot. So left leg first, standing. If you have a mobile board, you don't have to put the balance pieces in. It can go flat on the floor. Stand on your mobile board and just hold that position. Stack the body Load into the ball joint of the big toe and stabilize. Take the other leg, knee up, knee back. 2, and then you're going to start turning. 3, 4, and 5. Just like that. So we're standing on one foot, stability, and we're moving around that stable leg, and it's getting organized. So the knee comes up, the shoulder comes to the midline. That's kind of your starting point. Then we start to not put the foot down, if possible. 2, 3, and 5. All right, that's all we're going to do today. We worked a little bit on everything below the knees. We lightly hit the hips, and we've been working the thoracic right from the get-go, unbeknownst to you perhaps. But the most important thing in performance is the ability to stabilize on one leg. This leg has to be mobile. It has to have the opportunity for all the musculature within a single leg to function in a really organized fashion. In order to run faster, run downhill faster, you need to even be more functional. And I just want to say thanks. Thanks for coming. I'm just always so inspired to show up on Mondays. I'm going to keep doing it. Hope you do too. Have an amazing week. Peace out.